S.H. Weta entered the elevator, standing there mindlessly. Her growing passion often led her into such distracted states. Realizing that she was just standing in the elevator, she pressed the button for the 12th floor. S.H. Weta forced herself to focus on dinner plans for the family. Vegetarian or non-vegetarian, vegetarian or non-vegetarian, she repeated to herself. When she reached her floor, she opened the door and entered the empty house. Throwing her sports bag on the nearest table, S.H. Weta headed towards the window. She leveled her gaze at the building across the street on the 7th floor and saw that her husband was still sitting in his office, working. She noticed that his tie was loosened and a couple of buttons undone to allow him to breathe more freely. As usual, he will be late again today, she thought. This has been going on for several months now. Rohan was completely immersed in his work. He stayed late and sometimes even spent the night in the office if he was tired or there was too much work. He was an excellent provider, but recently, according to S.H. Weta, he had lost his sex drive. S.H. Weta took off her t-shirt, wet with sweat, and untied her leggings. She slowly pulled them down her smooth legs until they gathered at her ankles. She stepped out of them and bent down to pick them up. Any man will find this sight breathtaking. S.H. Weta was standing in the corridor in a sports bra and panties. S.H. Weta was exhausted after an intense workout. His body was glistening with sweat, and his t-shirt was sticking to his skin. She wanted to put herself in order as soon as possible and relieve the accumulated fatigue. She took off her sports bra and panties and went to the bathroom. In the glass cabin, she filled the bathtub with warm water, added a little fragrant salt and mild soap, and then carefully immersed herself in the water. Warm water gently enveloped her body, helping her relax. Light aromas and pleasant sensations made you forget about tension and discomfort. After spending a few minutes in calm silence, S.H. Weta felt her fatigue gradually subside. After rinsing and carefully washing herself, she climbed out of the bath, feeling refreshed and at peace. After that, she quickly cleaned herself up and left the bathroom feeling light and fresh. S.H. Weta cooked dinner and called her daughter, who was with her in-laws on the 11th floor. Richa, her daughter, was 5 years old. She often stayed with Rohan's parents when S.H. Weta and Rohan were working. After the daughter ate and fell asleep, Rohan returned home. After relaxing in the bath, S.H. Weta was relieved of pent-up tension, but still craved physical intimacy. She literally dragged Rohan into the bedroom and made love to him with incredible passion. In recent years, Rohan has achieved great heights in business. He owned a design studio and had recently purchased an entire floor in a commercial complex across the street. S.H. Weta worked as a consultant and then joined her husband's business. She worked only a few hours a day, after which she returned home. Taking care of her daughter, S.H. Weta remained completely free in the evenings. Late in the evening, she went to the gym, which was within walking distance. S.H. Weta has always had a high libido. Her desires were wild and untamed. After marriage, she kept her instincts in check, but old habits die hard. She enjoyed the attention of young guys and especially liked to glance at Raj. Raj was from S.H. Weta's gym. Over the past weeks, she had begun to feel an attraction to him, which developed into obsession. She often fantasized about him and dreamed of sleeping with him. Raj worked in an company. More than once he noticed how S.H. Weta looked at him furtively, but did not dare to approach. He knew she was married and didn't want to complicate the situation. Besides, his girlfriend Vidya would definitely not approve. Their relationship was moving in the right direction. In the gym, S.H. Weta tried to find an opportunity to talk to Raj, but the most she could manage was to smile at him. Diwali has arrived. Rohan was at work as usual and S.H. Weta was returning from the gym. At an intersection, she noticed Raj standing by his motorcycle and talking on the phone. After finishing the conversation, Raj turned around and suddenly saw S.H. Weta walking towards him. "Hello," she said. "Hi," Raj replied. S.H. Weta was over the moon that she was finally able to start a conversation. "What are you doing here?" "Yes, I forgot the keys to the house. The family left. They will return either late at night or tomorrow morning. Raj shrugged. Oh, it's horrible. What are you going to do tonight? My friend should be home by 11 or 12 o'clock. I'll spend the night with him later. There are still 2.5 hours until 11. What will you do all this time? You can come to my house and stay there until then. You must be hungry after your workout. Actually, yes, I'm hungry, and today is clearly not my day. I didn't even take any money with me because I don't take my wallet to the gym. But thanks for the offer. I think I'll bother you if I agree. You're really in a quandary. And no, that won't be a problem. I insist that you come. Fine. Where do you live? Right down the road in the Everest skyscrapers. Seriously, in which building? I live in the same complex in Ease 2. It's strange that I've never seen you. Is it true? I live in Ease 4. That's why we never met. You must go out through the first gate, but I mostly use the gate on my side. Yes, funny coincidence. Raj and S.H. Weta headed towards their apartment complex. Their buildings were about 200 meters apart, with a playground between them. However, the entrances to their buildings were located on opposite sides of the park, which provided sufficient privacy. Raj and S.H. Weta came to her house. S.H. Weta was as happy as a schoolgirl, but she hid it well. Raj parked his motorcycle and followed S.H. Weta to the elevator. Trying to avoid the awkward silence, he started a new conversation. Who do you live with? With my husband and daughter. My mother-in-law and father-in-law live on the floor below. Great. It's convenient. Yes, it's convenient for all of us. The elevator reached the 12th floor and they exited. S.H. Weta opened the door and let Raj in. Feel at home. No formality. I'll just check something, she said. S.H. Weta went to the bedroom and called her in-laws first. Her daughter loved spending time with her grandparents, as they spoiled her a lot, and as usual, she wanted to spend the night with them. The girl stayed with them, and S.H. Weta or Rohan picked her up in the morning. Fortunately for S.H. Weta, today her daughter stayed with her grandparents. S.H. Weta then called Rohan and told him about the situation. She asked him to come early, hoping for it. Rohan didn't seem to mind. Moreover, he joked. Are you afraid of him? Whom? This guy. A guy? How old is he? He is 4 or 5 years younger than me, S.H. Weta said, calming Rohan's curiosity, if there was any. She was just taking precautions. Oh, really? I'm very busy today, honey. I won't arrive before 11. Fine. Try to arrive early. Bye. S.H. Weta couldn't believe her luck. An hour ago, she was embarrassed to talk to Raj, and now he was sitting in her living room when no one was home. S.H. Weta was nervous, but incredibly excited. Just the thought of Raj's presence gave her a slight rush of pleasure. She returned to Raj's living room. Do you want something to drink, Raj? Maybe wine? Yes, okay. Why not? S.H. Weta poured him some red wine, which they kept especially for guests. Raj, do you mind if I take a shower? Oh, of course not. I understand you perfectly. I always run to the shower right after the gym. You can take a shower after me, S.H. Weta said, putting her plan into action. Despite having a great guest bathroom, she told Raj to use his own. S.H. Weta took clean clothes and entered the bathroom. Her towel fell to the floor, and she bent down to pick it up, hoping to show off her luscious figure to Raj. Raj actually saw this, but quickly looked away, showing that he didn't care. S.H. Weta entered the bathroom and turned on the shower. The wine loosened Raj's inhibitions, and S.H. Weta's cunning trick caught his attention. Listening to the sound of water, he thought about her and her appearance, noticing how the water flowed over her body. Raj felt uncomfortable with his situation. His body demanded attention. If it weren't for the support of the jockstrap, its condition would be noticeable under the sweatpants. S.H. Weta finished taking a shower. She wore a bra and a tight top that showed off her figure to impress Raj. She wore cotton shorts over her lower half, opting not to wear underwear. She entered the living room. Raj shifted on the couch, trying to find a comfortable position to ease some of the suffering of his tense, gym-clothed self. Raj, would you like to take a shower? Asked S.H. Weta. I wouldn't refuse, but I don't even know. I don't want to inconvenience you guys. No inconvenience, Raj. It's not difficult for me, and I'm sure Rohan won't mind either. Feel free and make yourself at home, S.H. Weta replied with a smile. Okay, if you say so. Thank you. Raj always kept a spare t-shirt and fresh boxers in his gym bag in case he decided to take a shower at the gym. He took them out. S.H. Veda escorted him to the bathroom. Raj had a rough idea of what was happening, but he himself was not sure and decided to just observe the development of events for the time being. He took off his clothes and breathed a sigh of relief. He made a couple of quick movements with his hands and then climbed into the shower. The wine relaxed him a little, but the warm water gave him even more relief. Meanwhile, S.H. Weta was feeling nervous and excited at the same time. She imagined how the man she had been pining for several months was now taking a shower in her house. Like Raj, she imagined him naked. Her fantasies became more and more clear, and she could already imagine him. S.H. Weta only hoped that Raj would accept all her hints. Raj finished his shower and started drying himself off. As he was drying his hair, his eyes fell on S.H. Weta's things left on the sink. He knew that she left them on purpose. He took them in his hands, thought for a moment, but then pulled himself together and got dressed. He wore sweatpants and a t-shirt over his boxers. After leaving the bathroom, Raj continued to dry his hair. Wow, that was great. Thank you for letting me use the shower, he told S.H. Weta. No problem, she replied. Sit down, let's have dinner now. I'll be back soon. S.H. Weta went to the bathroom. She noticed that her underwear had been moved from where she had left it. She immediately realized that Raj was touching him. After a light dinner, Raj thanked. Thank you for dinner, S.H. Weta. It was delicious. Would you like some more wine, Raj? Of course, he replied, shrugging his shoulders. S.H. Veta poured more wine and continued the conversation. So, Raj, are you studying or working somewhere? I work in a software company. And you? Are you working or doing household chores? I help my husband with the financial matters of his company. I only work a couple of hours a day, and the rest of the time I spend with my daughter, and as you know, I go to the gym. Yes, I see you in the gym, but it seems like you see me more often, Raj joked. Raj realized what he said. He wasn't sure whether it was the wine, the setting, or the beauty of this attractive woman in front of him that had influenced him. But he decided to test the boundaries. S.H. Weta was surprised by his remark, but she liked where their conversation was going. Is it true? She asked in an innocent tone. Well, you're a nice man. I'm sure I'm not the only one looking at you. Other girls, too. Yes, they are looking, but not like you. S.H. Weta moved closer to Raj. She tried to seduce him for a long time and decided to take a step forward. What if I'm really looking at you, Raj? Does this excite you? Raj had no intention of backing down. He also moved towards her. Their breathing became heavy, and he felt her warm breath on his lips. This increased his excitement. Until this moment, S.H. Weta was in control of the situation, but now Raj decided to take control into his own hands. This was the moment of truth. Either they would get what they both wanted, or nothing would happen. Raj motioned to S.H. Weta, and she leaned forward as he began to whisper softly in her ear. Yes, S.H. Weta, this attracts me. Even now. I want to be close to you so much. I want to see you closer and feel your presence. I want to hold you and be close to you. But I'm not sure if you want this, S.H. Weta. Tell me, S.H. Weta, do you want to feel my warmth next to you? Do you want me to be closer? Raj's whispers and whine made S.H. Weta weak. She herself did not know what she wanted to cross the line or suppress, what she had been fantasizing about in recent months. Desire flooded her mind. She felt tense and her body craved closeness. S.H. Weta could only squeeze out. Listen, Raj insisted again. Then say it, S.H. Weta. Tell me what you want. S.H. Weta whispered back. I want to kiss you, Raj. I want to feel your touch. I want you inside me. Please have sex with me, Raj. Please take me. Raju didn't need to be told twice. He pulled back a little to make deep eye contact with Shweta. He wanted her to understand the forbidden line they were about to cross. But from her breathing, he knew that she wanted this more than anything. Raj's left hand slid to her neck. His thumb gently but firmly massaged the junction of her neck and head. He pulled her towards him, bowed his head, and pressed his lips to hers. Shweta completely surrendered to his touch. She gave in and allowed Raj to take control of the situation. Raj slowly and steadily touched Shweta, gradually approaching the moment of intimacy. By this time, Shweta was already feeling strong affection and excitement. Raj stepped back and Shweta noticed him smiling, enjoying the moment. "Wow, you are truly special," he said. Suddenly, Raj took off his t-shirt and unbuttoned his pants, leaving him in his boxers. Shweta felt the urge to get closer to him. She stood up from the couch and carefully pulled his clothes down, revealing him to her. Shweta was proud that she was able to evoke such a reaction from Raj. Her heart beat faster as she took his hand and looked into his eyes. Her emotions overwhelmed her, and she felt a strong connection with him. "Look at me," said Raj. Shweta looked at Raj. When their gazes met, she felt a mixture of emotions. Without breaking eye contact, she continued to approach him. Raj couldn't contain his feelings. His wife, whom many dreamed of, showed affection to him right in the living room. He felt her warmth and care. Her gaze was both insightful and affectionate. Raj knew that he could trust Shweta with everything. He felt a growing excitement, but wanted to prolong this moment. Gently taking her by the hair, he stepped back and kissed her tenderly. He then lifted the hem of her top, exposing her shoulders. Shweta unclasped her bra to show off her grace. Raj gently touched one of her hands with his mouth, expressing his affection. He gently circled her fingers with his tongue, feeling their softness. Shweta reacted to his caresses with pleasure, making quiet sounds of pleasure. When Raj paid enough attention to her hands, he hugged Shweta, supporting her in his arms. She instinctively grabbed his waist, and they walked towards the bedroom together. As they walked, Raj felt each other's closeness, and the movements only intensified their mutual attraction. Shweta closed her eyes in pleasure, biting her lip lightly and clinging to Raj, enjoying the moment. As Raj approached the bed, he noticed that Shweta looked tired after a long and stressful day. With concern in his eyes, he gently helped her get comfortable. Carefully removing her shorts, he carefully laid them aside, trying not to cause any discomfort. Shweta smiled gratefully, feeling his attention and support. Raj began to gently massage her legs, slowly moving from her ankles to her calves. His movements were rhythmic and confident, aimed at relieving the tension and fatigue that had accumulated in Shweta's muscles during the day. He noticed how her breathing gradually became smoother and her shoulders dropped, indicating relaxation. "How was your day?" Raj asked quietly, without taking his hands off her legs. Shweta sighed, feeling relief from the massage. "There was a lot of work, a lot of meetings and deadlines. I was so tired." Raj nodded in understanding. "You always take on so much. Let me help you relax." He continued the massage, moving to her thighs and lower back. His every gesture was thoughtful and careful, aimed at ensuring maximum comfort. Shweta felt the tension gradually leaving her body, being replaced by a feeling of lightness and peace. There was a quiet atmosphere in the room. The soft light of the table lamp created a cozy glow, and in the distance there were muffled sounds of the bustle of the city, reminiscent of the fact that they were in the center of a big city, but at this moment all attention was focused on their interaction. Raj noticed how Shweta began to relax even more and decided to add some aromatherapy. He pulled out a small essential oil diffuser and turned it on, filling the room with the soothing scent of lavender. The smell instantly contributed to further relaxation, creating an atmosphere of calm and harmony. "You deserve rest and peace," he said softly, continuing his caring movements. Shweta closed her eyes, enjoying the moment. "Thank you, Raj. Your support means a lot to me." Raj smiled, feeling pleased that he could help. He continued the massage until Shweta was completely relaxed, and her breathing became deep and regular. Eventually, he gently stopped and helped her get even more comfortable, making sure she was comfortable. "If you need anything else, just say so," he added, ready to continue the care as needed. Huerta thanked him again, feeling deeply grateful for his attention and support. They remained in silence, enjoying the moment of calm and understanding, knowing that they could count on each other in any situation. Raj walked up to his wife and hugged her. They exchanged warm words and spent time together. Huerta felt a little embarrassed by the presence of her daughter and grandparents downstairs. Her husband was busy working in the building opposite. Despite this, they were able to spend a cozy evening together, enjoying each other's company. Raj and Huerta continued to communicate, sharing their thoughts and feelings. Eventually, they felt closer to each other, strengthening their relationship. Huerta was glad that she was able to spend time with Raj and feel supported and understood. They ended the evening hugging and expressing their affection for each other, preparing for the next day and more moments together. "Raj, I need to get ready. My husband will come soon," she said. There was still half an hour left before Raj's friend arrived. "Where does your husband work?" asked Raj. "Come here," she answered, standing by the window. "Do you see that man on the 7th floor of that building?" "Yes. This is my husband." A smile stretched across Raj's face, enjoying the piquancy of the situation, the same acute feeling that Huerta had recently experienced. "When will he return?" "He should have left already, so he'll be home soon." Raj returned and sat on the sofa. Huerta followed him, sat on his lap facing him and kissed him, as if subconsciously thanking him for the great sex. The doorbell rang and they both got ready. Rohan entered the house and greeted Raj, suspecting nothing. They talked about business and work while Rohan had dinner. Soon Raj's phone rang. It was his friend. He said goodbye to Rohan and Huerta walked him to the door. "Raj, I don't know what you think of me, but I'm still a married woman and I have children. I love Rohan very much. I liked what happened between us, but I'm not sure if it will happen again," she said. Raj took her face in his hands and kissed her passionately one last time. "Huerta, I know that you love Rohan and your family. Your desires just took over. Don't confuse love and sex. Not only you, many women experience such desires, and most of them come true. I guarantee that your family will not be harmed, but I'm not sure that you and I will never meet again." Raj grinned, saying the last words, and entered the elevator, going down. Closing the door behind him, Huerta hoped that Raj's words would be true. Deep down, she was already longing for the next meeting, hoping for another great sex with Raj. Holding back a sly smile, she returned to Rohan. The next few days passed without much of an event. Raj and Huerta crossed paths, but he didn't seem to notice her. He didn't even look in her direction. Huerta found this strange, but believed that this was his way of maintaining secrecy. On the other hand, she was beginning to be bothered by the feeling that Raj was simply using her, and now, having received his, stopped paying attention. She felt defiled. But she was also calm that no troubles occurred after her betrayal. Several times she felt strong emotions when she remembered the first time Raja showed attention to her. She felt warmth and desire when she thought about their close communication. The memories of those moments evoked strong feelings in her, but she could not allow herself to be alone. The following days after their meeting were painful for her, since Rohan, as usual, came home late. She felt a lack of intimacy that filled the void. In desperation, she decided to take the first step and leave noticeable hints and signals for Raja to bring her back to him. Huerta tried to accidentally bump into Raj, but it was all in vain. The only place where she could definitely meet him was the gym. She adjusted her time so that she could be there when he was. I worked out in front of him. Sometimes she left at the same moment he headed to the men's locker room. But the schedule didn't always line up, and she missed the mark. Raj did not appear in the hall for the next week. Her plans didn't work out, and she felt disappointed. Although her husband had sex with her over the weekend, it wasn't the same. She felt dirty remembering Raj passionately having sex with her. The following Monday, she went to the gym again, hoping to see Raj. To her joy, he was there. She rejoiced like a schoolgirl who saw a handsome guy. Raj continued to ignore her. After some time, he went to the locker room, and so did Shweta. She hurriedly gathered her things, hoping to intercept him at the elevator. But when Shweta approached the elevator, she saw it going down with Raj inside. She knew that by the time the elevator went back up, Raj would already be gone. Frustrated, she called the elevator. Opening the door, Shweta went inside. I think the disappointment on your face is due to the fact that you thought you missed me. Raj's voice came from inside. To her surprise, he was still in the elevator, having returned with him to the top. No, I wasn't looking for you. I was just upset that I missed the elevator going down, Shweta quickly replied. Suddenly, Raj grabbed her wrist and pulled her inside and closed the door. He pressed his back and arms against the elevator wall, spreading them out. Shweta was stunned by his aggressive and bold move. In any other situation, she would not have tolerated this. But for Raj, it was as if she had rolled out the red carpet. She obeyed without the slightest resistance. A new feeling came over her. She felt his control over her. This submission was strange and new to her. Is it true? So you didn't want to talk to me? Then why was this circle in front of my eyes in the hall? Why did you leave almost immediately after me? You were in the gym for only 10 minutes and barely broke a sweat. And yet you smell fresh and wonderful, said Raj, burying his nose in her neck and inhaling the scent of her hair. Shweta's breathing quickened. Her chest heaved against Raj's face with every breath she took. She felt his breath on her skin. He had just worked out, and he smelled of musk mixed with deodorant. This aroma, despite everything, turned her head. Her excitement increased. Emotions were seething in her soul. The pride of a wife and mother disappeared. Now she was a toy in the hands of this young guy who played with her body and feelings. As a mature woman, she suddenly felt vulnerable under his gaze and touch. But at the same time, she felt safe, giving in to his pressure. Shweta didn't want to seem so submissive and tried to justify herself. I really had to go somewhere, she said. And I'm not excited, please believe me. Don't lie. When you lie, you think I'm stupid, and I don't like that. Besides, I see that you are excited by my presence, Raj said. No, really, I had to leave, and I'm not excited. Fine, let's check. If you don't react, then if I touch you, nothing will happen, right? Without waiting for an answer, Raj reached under the waistband of her pants and touched her. Shweta's eyes widened with fear and excitement. The adrenaline from the thought that the elevator door could open at any second mixed with the unexpected sensations of Raj's touch. You say you don't react. So, if I continue, nothing should happen, right? He asked, and, without waiting for an answer, continued to examine her reaction. He checked her condition and saw that she was reacting. Shweta felt tension when Raj finished. Her body was already experiencing this risky moment. Raj, without hiding his curiosity. It seems that everything is not as you said. He pressed a button on the elevator panel and the cabin began to descend. Shweta was still in a state of shock from what had happened. With a hint of sarcasm, Raj said, I think you should straighten your clothes. Only then did Shweta notice that her left breast was still bare. She hurriedly tidied herself up just in time for the elevator to stop on the ground floor. As soon as they stepped outside, Raj began to ignore her again. Without noticing it, Shweta had already reached her house. Scenes of recent humiliation kept popping up in her head. Entering the elevator, she tried to recreate the feeling of his touch by running her hand over her body, but it did not bring the desired result. His touch was special, firm but gentle at the same time. His every action showed that he possessed her and had power over her. The bitch inside her yearned for a dominant touch. She felt humiliated, but she liked it, and she wanted to feel Raj's hands on her body again. Shweta immersed herself in the bath and let the warm shower flow over her body. Warm water flowed down her chest, which Raj had recently touched. She felt a slight tingling sensation that increased her internal tension. Closing her eyes, she took a deep breath, mentally imagining the gentle touches of Raj's hands. The warm water created a pleasant background, and her own careful movements helped her focus on new feelings. Every time the image of Raj appeared in her head, she felt a surge of special emotions. These were different sensations, unlike the usual moments in family life. Coming out of the bath and looking at herself in the mirror, she noted how pregnancy had a beneficial effect on her appearance. Her breasts become firmer, her skin soft and radiant. She carefully patted her body with a towel and noticed a slight blush on her face, reminding herself that her thoughts and emotions are part of her inner world. Sachweta wore shorts and a tank top. Walking into the kitchen, she started cooking. Her husband, Rohan, returned from work unusually early. They had dinner early, and their daughter went to bed. Sachweta hoped that her husband would have the strength to have sex today because they had time, but Rohan preferred to go to bed early. Sachweta was furious. The husband increasingly neglected his marital responsibilities. She couldn't sleep. She tried to coax Rohan into some action, but he was too tired. Sachweta actually understood and sympathized with Rohan, knowing how tired he was at work. At that moment, her phone rang. Sachweta was surprised as the number was unfamiliar. She replied, "Hello. Hello, I see you finished dinner early, and those yellow shorts look great on you. They highlight your butt wonderfully." "Oh, Raj, is it you? How do you know what I'm wearing?" She was surprised. "About, did I mention that I can see your bedroom and living room from my window? But I had to buy binoculars to see you more clearly. Previously, I could only make out a figure in the room, but now I see everything I like." "How did you get my number?" "Come on. I was in your house, and inside you too, S.H. Weta. Do you think it was difficult to get your number?" He grinned. "Besides, it was Rohan who gave me your number." "What? Why did he do this?" "It doesn't matter now, S.H. Weta. The important thing is that you need to satisfy your sexual needs and your lust in the moment. Judging by the scene from Titanic, she clearly turned you on. I saw where your hand was while you were watching it." S.H. Weta was confused. She felt like a girl caught with her hand in the cookie jar. "What do you want?" "Watching you, I got turned on too. Go to your husband and tell him that you are going for a walk. Judging by the way he sleeps, he won't care about you if you go alone. Come down and come into my building. If you tell the guard you're coming to see me, he won't stop you. Take the elevator to the roof." "What?" S.H. Veda was shocked by his directness. "I can't. My husband is at home. I can't come now. And what makes you think that I want to be with you?" "Hmm. So you're still breaking down. Okay, I'll tell you straight. This is the moment of truth. I can either blackmail you into giving myself to me, or you yourself will admit your true desires. Although I seem cruel to you now, I don't want to destroy your family. I also have my own personal life, which I don't want to spoil. You are a sexy, gorgeous woman with a great body. I know how bad your sex life is. I've been watching you the last few days. I know how much you want this. It was obvious when I played with your breasts in the elevator that you really wanted. So decide for yourself. This is the moment of truth. Either you accept it and enjoy it, or you refuse and continue to suffer from a lack of sex." Raj's words made S.H. Weta think for a few minutes. "What does it mean to have sex with my body from time to time? Do you want me to be your personal prostitute? Do you want to make me your toy?" She blurted out. "Certainly." After a pause, he added, "Yes." "What the hell are you talking about? Are you crazy? You're a real idiot. I'll tell you my answer. I won't come to you anywhere. I wouldn't be in such a hurry, S.H. Weta, and he wouldn't disappoint me. I know you need time to think, so I'll be on the roof for another 10 minutes. If you don't come, nothing will happen. But remember, once you enter my building, there is no turning back. As soon as you enter the elevator of my building, you will become my prostitute. Moreover, since you called me an idiot, I want you to come to me and say, 'I want to be your girlfriend of easy virtue.'" Before S.H. Weta could answer anything, the connection was cut off. She sat down and began to think. She went to the window, trying to see Raj, but to no avail. Without optics, it was impossible to see the apartments opposite. Looks like Raj had a good overview. Her mind ran through all the options and her feelings. The fear of cheating on her husband with a younger guy squeezed her stomach. But the excitement was exciting. It humiliated her that she would even think about choosing to submit to another man, even if it means being used for his sexual pleasure. She was disgusted, but it turned her on even more when she thought of herself as Raj's personal girlfriend of easy virtue. Shweta was a worthy woman. She had a reputation as an exemplary wife and mother. She held a respected position in her husband's office. She never tolerated any nonsense and seemed invulnerable. But for some reason, she wanted to be dominated by someone. She needed a man who could control her, and the thought that she was allowing a young guy to treat her like a girl of easy virtue humiliated her, but also turned her on insanely. Her morals and desires were at war. Raj penetrated deeply into her mind and played with her. She was his toy, and he played as he pleased. 5 minutes have passed since Raj called. Shveta was in doubt. Finally, she made a decision. She turned off the light. She returned to the bedroom and kissed her sleeping husband on the forehead. Then she took her keys, put on her sneakers, and left the house. She crossed the park between her house and Raj's house and reached the stairs of his building. The guard asked about the purpose of the visit, and Shweta said that she was going to see Raj. The guard's face remained impassive. It was hard to tell if he was surprised. Shweta wondered if the guard knew why she was going to Raj. Was she the only one, or did Raj have a whole harem? She didn't care now. If he had a harem, she was flattered to be a part of it. Shweta tried to calm herself as she rode up the elevator. Fine, that's it. There is no turning back, she thought. She entered the roof through the door. It was pitch dark there. Only the moonlight slightly illuminated the space. It was hot, but her feet were cold. It was hard to believe that she had submitted to Raj's demands. Her sexual desire made her legs move towards Raj without stopping them at the red light of her marriage. But she was excited by the thought of cheating on her husband. And not just cheating, but about becoming Raj's pet. She looked around. Raj was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, she felt two arms grab her from behind. From the touch, she immediately knew whose hands they were. Raj wrapped his arms around her body and pulled her towards him. She felt his breath on her neck. He approached her ear, and his voice sounded quietly but clearly. So you came after all. Brought what I needed. But should I accept your offer? Shveta stood opposite him under the evening sky on the upper platform of the roof. There was a translucent haze all around, and the rare street lamps below created a bizarre play of chiaroscuro. She felt a gentle breeze gently touch the strands of her hair, and at that moment it seemed to her as if the whole city was holding its breath. What does he mean by that? She thought, trying to stay on the thin line between anxiety and readiness. Her mind raced, trying to predict where he was leading. Does he really need me to say that out loud? The very idea seemed absurd and at the same time inevitable to her. You understood correctly, Shveta. His calm, almost thoughtful voice rang out. I want to hear exactly these words from you. This phrase struck her inner balance. It seemed that he read her thoughts, felt the slightest vibrations of her soul, and now masterfully provoked her to indicate her position herself. There was no longer any way to hide behind silence or excuses. He expected a direct answer from her. He waited for her to make a choice, perhaps the most important in their strange game. Shweta wanted to turn away, but felt that it would look like running away. She would like to glance down at the streetlights, at the evening passers-by, at the cooling asphalt, but she understood that looking into the faceless darkness would not bring peace. She had to look inside herself, find strength in her own determination. And this determination was still somewhere deep inside, like a long-sought answer that she did not want to utter. Finally, she spoke. The voice sounded a little quieter than usual, but there was a concentrated determination in it. Raj, I'm ready to become what you want me to be. As if casting a spell, she finally gave out what he wanted to hear. The words that had recently seemed too much for her to bear now slipped from her lips. Having said that, she felt a strange release. It was like the moment when a traveler who had long been afraid to cross a stormy river on a shaky bridge, finally takes this step and suddenly realizes that standing in indecision was much worse than moving forward. Raj stood behind her, and his presence was felt not so much physically as emotionally. It was as if he was tasting her readiness, checking how sincere she was. He took a small, almost imperceptible step forward, closing the already tiny distance. His shadow fell on her shoulder, nothing more than a slight hint of intimacy. Isachweta could not tell how many seconds passed. Time seemed to stretch, became viscous and thick, like the evening air at the end of a hot day. She didn't meet his gaze. That would be too intense right now. Her hands lay on the cold parapet of the roof, and the rough surface of the concrete was a tangible reminder of the reality of this moment. Below, ordinary life was going on. People were hurrying home. Cars were making a steady noise. But here, above, a fragile line of new understanding was being created between her and Raj. He was in no hurry. He didn't make any sudden movements or cross boundaries. And this expectation became even more intense. It seemed that he was looking for confirmation of her words, not in the next gesture, but in the depths of her own heart, as if expecting that her inner readiness would manifest itself not only in her speeches, but also in the intonation of her breathing, in the slight trembling of her fingers, in the way she held herself, placing his hands on this cold parapet. The wind passed across the roof again, lifted the light fabric of her clothes, and barely noticeable moved her hair. Shwetter realized that this moment was like a turning point when it was impossible to rewind. The words have already been said. She could now try to change the mood, replay the situation, but she felt that it would only get worse. Deep down in her soul, she understood. Since everything had turned out this way, she had to accept it and go to the end. Raj finally leaned forward slightly to speak. His voice sounded quiet but clearly. "Fine. Let's see how you handle your decision." She felt that he was carefully watching her every movement, every hint of hesitation. And standing like this on the roof, under the evening sky, Shwetter realized that the tension between them was not just a game, it was a test in which she would have to prove her readiness to go where they set foot together, without unnecessary questions or excuses. So they stood in this strange muteness, waiting for the next phrase, the next step. Against the background of street noise, distant hubbub, and rare car signals, their own story unfolded so slowly that it seemed as if the night itself was holding its breath, giving them the opportunity to realize their new balance of power. It was that rare moment when the words have already been spoken, the consequences have been accepted, and all that remains is to face the inevitability, the one that they both chose. "Bend over," he said quietly. Isachveta obediently leaned over the low parapet on the roof, peering at the city panorama below. The freshness of the night blew across her face, and somewhere in the distance lights were blinking like constellations in the ocean of the night. Raj stood a little behind, watching her. He loved how gently the moonlight slid across her silhouette. He was in no hurry to come closer, just watched the wind blow through her hair. Below, dozens of floors away, the world was sleeping, and the two of them stood above, as if at the top of their own little world. "Look how calm everything is," he said quietly. There was confidence and a slight smile in his voice. Shveta turned around. She knew that their meeting here was not accidental. They were together, and a quiet harmony flowed between them. Her family slept somewhere far inside the house, and they gave this short time to the night sky, whispers and glances full of unspoken words. Raj took a step forward. Now they stood almost side by side, shoulder to shoulder. He gently touched her hand, and Shveta felt his warmth, as if reinforced by the warm breath of a summer night. Without further ado, she realized that there was a special understanding between them. Everything that happened was filled with quiet tenderness, without coercion or rudeness. They spoke quietly, almost in a whisper, about stars and dreams, about roads that go beyond the horizon, and about the importance of finding your place in this huge world. It was as if invisible threads connected their hearts without requiring proof or confirmation. Time passed unnoticed. Gradually, the city became only a background for their dialogue of souls. And although they had to return to everyday life, in the depths of this night moment, they found something valuable understanding, trust, and the ease with which they can look forward without lowering their eyes. Soon Shweta straightened up and looked at Raj. He nodded to her in response, and in this nod there was everything: tenderness, respect, recognition, and readiness to move on, keeping the warmth of this quiet night in their hearts. Shweta and Raj stood silently for some time. They watched the lights of the city at night, feeling themselves in a strange but pleasant solitude, like two travelers who accidentally found themselves together under the starry sky. Neither of them had the need to say too much. The quiet harmony of their presence resounded. Shweta smiled, raised her head, and looked straight into Raj's eyes. She liked that next to him she didn't have to play a role and didn't have to look for the right words. There seemed to be a subtle understanding between them that did not require explanation. "We will probably freeze if we stand like this until the morning," Raj said quietly, noticing how the cool breeze touched Shweta's bare hands. He raised his hand slightly, as if offering support or inviting her to return inside. She nodded. Together they walked towards the heavy, creaking door leading into the house. Walking down the narrow flights of stairs, Shweta thought about how surprisingly easy it is sometimes to trust a person whom you seem to know little. But perhaps it's not about the number of years of acquaintance, but about how open people are at the right time. Halfway to the apartment, they stopped at the window in the entrance. From here, the city was visible from a different angle, not so romantic, but still retaining traces of recent sensations. Raj, with his peripheral vision, caught a slight smile on her lips. "You know, we don't have to rush back," he suggested calmly. "You can stand a little longer. I love these moments when the night gradually gives way to the first light." Shweta ran her hand along the railing, looking at the distant lights, and answered almost in a whisper, "Yes, let's stay. I love this feeling, as if we are watching the world wake up again." They stood next to each other, not touching each other, but feeling an invisible connection. Downstairs, inside the apartment, her family was sleeping. This fact reminded them that soon they would have to return to everyday life. Everyday life, worries, schedules. But while this moment of peace existed, they could just be themselves for a while without unnecessary words, without masks, just watching the sky begin to brighten outside the window. With the first pale rays of dawn making their way into the entrance, Raj slightly tilted his head towards Shweta. "Morning will come soon. Maybe someday we will watch the sunrise together again." Shweta responded with a soft smile. It seemed to her that in this short sentence there was much more hidden than just an agreement to meet the next day. It offered an invitation to understanding and friendship, something perhaps not yet fully articulated. They didn't rush into answers or plans. They just stood there until the sky began to turn pale pink, reminiscent of a watercolor painting. The transition from night to morning was smooth, almost imperceptible, but in this transition they found something close and important for both. "You have amazing sex, Shweta. I can't imagine why your husband doesn't have sex with you every hour. Now go home and take this with you. I'll call you tomorrow and tell you what it's for." Having said this, he handed her the bag. Raj asked her to leave by lightly patting her on the shoulder. Shweta put on her shorts, feeling a little uncomfortable. She knew that at this hour of the night no one would notice her. She returned home and, fortunately, did not run into the security guard. She sneaked into the apartment and changed into clean shorts, getting rid of any traces of what had happened. With a wide, satisfied smile on her face, she hid the necessary things in a safe place and lay down in bed with her husband. She quickly fell into a deep, restful sleep, reflecting on the events of the past night. She looked around, not noticing Raj nearby. Suddenly, two arms appeared behind her and grabbed her. She immediately realized who it was. Raj came closer and whispered some harsh and daring phrases in her ear, making her feel embarrassed. Her thoughts seemed to be read by him, and she could not find a way out of this strange situation. The words he wanted to hear from her put her in a vulnerable position. Shweta hesitated, but understood that she would have to obey. Gathering her courage, she said what Raj expected from her. It embarrassed her, but also brought her a strange feeling of relief. His satisfied reaction was obvious. He enjoyed her willingness to comply with his demand. Raj, acting confidently, put her in an awkward position. Isachveta was ashamed, but she could not do anything. He deliberately delayed time, making her feel embarrassed and vulnerable. A strange game of power and submission took place between them on a deserted roof at night. Isachveta felt growing tension and internal conflict. She wanted to be somewhere far from this scene, but curiosity and an unknown attraction kept her in place. Raj gradually emphasized his strength, while she tried to hide her embarrassment, uncertainty, and unexpected excitement. When the tension reached its peak, a moment came after which a return to the old life seemed impossible. Raj completed his plan by letting her know that she was now within his sphere of influence. He stood back, admiring his work, and handed her a small bag, hinting that he would contact her later. Isachveta, still embarrassed and confused, quietly left. Returning home, she tried not to attract attention and get rid of the sensations she had just experienced. Already in her room, looking at the bag, she thought about how strange and incomprehensible this night's episode turned out to be. But now all she could do was hide the item she had received and try to sleep, hoping that in the morning this story would seem like a dream or at least clear up. The night was already drawing to a close, but Isachveta still could not find peace. She lay in bed next to her sleeping husband, trying to even out her breathing and calm the storm of thoughts in her head. The bag handed over by Raj seemed to her a strange symbol of the beginning of the game in which she was drawn. The next morning, the first rays of the sun entered the room, and Isachveta, with some trepidation, took the bag to examine it more closely. It was small, made of thick fabric, tied with a simple rope. Her heart pounded faster at the thought of what could be inside. Key, note, some kind of mysterious souvenir, maybe just a trifle designed to keep her in suspense and remind her of the meeting on the roof. Isachveta carefully placed the bag on the table next to the mirror and hurried to do her usual morning activities. Her daughter was already awake and demanding attention. The husband, as if nothing had happened, was looking at the news on his phone. Isachveta tried to behave naturally, prepared breakfast, set the table, but her inner restlessness did not go away. She waited all day for a call. Raj had made it clear that he would contact her, and now she kept glancing at the phone, wincing at every sound of an incoming message. But nothing happened. The phone was silent, and time passed painfully slowly. By lunchtime, Isachveta, having still not received any news, decided to look into the bag. She quietly locked herself in the bathroom so that none of the household would notice her curiosity. Having untied the bundle, she found inside a small silver key and a piece of paper with a short inscription. "Be ready for the test." Test, she mentally repeated, feeling a chill of fear and curiosity running down her back. What is Raj up to? Why doesn't he call or write? What is she supposed to do with this key? The rest of the day passed in tension and guesswork. But the call came only in the evening, when the husband went shopping and the daughter was enthusiastically watching cartoons. The number was unfamiliar. Isachveta replied, holding back her excitement. The voice on the other end sounded calm, confident, but at the same time with a hint of slight mockery. "Did you find the key? Fine. Tomorrow at noon, go to the old warehouse building near the park. There is a utility room there locked. You now have the key to it. Inside you will find something important. Bring it to me." Isachveta didn't have time to ask anything. The connection was interrupted. Inside, she had a mixture of fear, curiosity, and strange excitement from what was happening. She was drawn into an incomprehensible game where the rules were set not by her, but by Raj. Now she had to make a choice: ignore everything, throw away the key and try to forget about the night meeting, or go to the indicated address and find out the truth, threatening her usual way of life. Feeling her heart beating more and more, Isachveta understood. She had already crossed the threshold of normality, and returning back to the calm world would not be easy. The next day, at exactly noon, Isachveta walked up to an old warehouse building near the park. Her heart beat unevenly, and her thoughts raced, trying to predict what awaited her inside. She walked around the building and finally found a small utility room with a massive metal lock. Taking out a silver key, she carefully inserted it into the hole. The lock clicked and the door gave way. It was dark inside and smelled of dust. The only object that caught my eye was a small wooden box on the floor. Isachweta opened the lid and found a paper envelope and some folded cloth inside. Her name was written on the envelope. Her hand shook as she unfolded the letter. The neat handwriting told her that Raj wanted to test her boundaries and see how far she was willing to go out of curiosity and fear of being exposed or judged. There were no threats in the letter, just a strange mixture of apologies and hints. He called it a test, as if he was inviting her, by the very fact of his courage, to free herself from the burden of secrets. In addition, the letter stated that she could keep the package or throw it away, and that it would no longer bother her. Esachweta unwrapped the fabric and found an ordinary white scarf and a small pendant inside. No jewelry, no money, nothing particularly valuable. Just a sign that everything that was happening was a game of someone's ambitions and fantasies into which she was drawn, perhaps for the sake of someone's strange curiosity. She went outside, squinting in the bright daylight. Her thoughts were no longer confused, she now felt calm. The world around remained the same. Children played in the park, people walked their dogs, passers-by discussed the weather. Life went on as usual. In the evening, at home, Esachweta carefully hid the scarf and pendant in the bottom drawer of the chest of drawers, as if closing this chapter of her life. She realized that no external circumstances have the right to subjugate her will and dignity. Putting the kettle on the stove, she smiled at her daughter and glanced at her husband, who was reading the newspaper. Everything was in its place. Sometimes unsettling events happen in order to understand. Our inner strength is the most reliable support. Esachweta made a conclusion for herself. No secrets, tests, or manipulations from the outside can be more important than her own choice. And now she was ready to move on with her life calmer, more confident, and more honest with herself. Subscribe to our channel so that your love doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think click to the next one. Click to the next one. Click to the next one.